Okay, for the next presentation, be sure we lock all the back doors. Okay? So we don't have any spies slipping in. We're going to be telling you about something that's really, really exciting, because all of you have been asking for a long time what's going on in the world of stem cell research. And we have today with us one of the experts we've invited that's also going to be shared with us. But we're going to be telling you about the latest in anti-aging technology and what you can do to stay young. How many here want to really look young? How many want to feel young and look really old? Anybody? If you do, that meeting is down the hall, go way down the hall to the left. That's another company, Ding Dong or whatever they call it, yeah. But if you want to be young and you want to look young, because there's a lot of mind-body connection, and you know that already. How you look at yourself every day, and how you tell yourself, and how you command your body to give you the energy and direct the cells the way you want to do it. You need to be able to look in the mirror and look young. So, we've in the past told you a lot about skincare, but we're going to tell you about some technology that is coming that you can take advantage of here. We'll move right along. This is a new product, the latest advances to our skincare line, and it contains a patent-pending technology to deliver key active growth factors found in human skin. This ingredient comes to us from the latest advances in stem cell technology. And last year, I think you remember Dr. Ping talking to you about the work that's going on in China. And we have Dr. Mark Smith, who's doing work in Thailand. And we have many of our associates are involved in stem cell research. Now, much of that research is to rejuvenate the body, internal research. What we're talking about this afternoon is external. This important active serum growth factor was developed by Mr. Habib Torfi, who is here today and going to be speaking to you. He's the former director of the Laboratory of Regenerative Bioengineering and Repair for the Department of Surgery at UCLA. In a joint agreement, we are bringing to you this ingredient in the form of skincare. This unique ingredient is grown in aseptically sealed flask using adipose tissue derived from healthy screen donors. So he will tell you more about that particular process. Each batch is formulated and grown under his supervision, and it contains this special active conditioned media which contains lots of growth factors and cytokines, including tumor growth factor B and platelet-derived growth factor, and many more growth factors which he can speak to you about. The platelet-derived growth factor is one of the numerous growth factors on proteins. They regulate cell growth and division, plays an important role in embryonic development, cell proliferation, cell migration, and angiogenesis. There's also other growth factors in there that are proteins secreted by macrophages, T cells, mast cells, epithelial cells, and also interleukins, which is a broad name to describe lots of natural chemicals, cytokines that are involved in your cells talking to each other. You know, this morning we talked about your cells actually love each other and they want to be together. And I actually saw that looking in his facility, looking under the microscope, and you can see these cells as they start out far apart and they gradually move to each other and want to communicate and want to love each other and help each other in the process. So you've heard a lot of these names, interleukin 1 and 2 and 6 and 4 and 10. I won't talk much about that, but there's a whole lot of these kind of factors involved. As we age, these growth factors, what we do know, and we've known at New Spirit for about 25 years, is these growth factors are reduced. And as they reduce, it leads to thinning and wrinkling of the skin. And so the purpose of this product is to reintroduce some natural growth factors back to the skin and let your cells do what they know how to do best, but give them like the food. I would call it the food to make them do what they need to do. So there are several clinical studies. This is one of the early ones here that was done, where they used the ingredient for 2 times a day for 90 days, and they applied it to clean skin, and then followed with a moisturizer, and then evaluated over a period of 30, 60, 90 days. This is the skin factors that was evaluated on, and you can see continually it went up as they used it. So we got results in 30 days, and 60 days, and even more in 90 days. The patients usually in the first 4 weeks saw a 10 to 20% improvement, and then another 10% or so improvement in like 12 weeks. So most of them about like a 30% or more improvement in a short period of time. These improvements were the most notable is plumper, firmer, brighter, more illuminating skin. And that's why we are calling it the Skin Illumination Serum, because people see you right away. They don't know exactly what you've done. Some of them even walk up and say, well, have you had some work done? You know, they kind of assume when you start looking younger that something may be happening to you. And that's a good thing, isn't it? When somebody says, you know, you look good. So if they say you think you had some work done, say thank you. But you can tell them about your product. And then also more things like moisturizing and whatever for the skin. So this is a graph. Basically, to sum it all up, 80% saw improvement. That's high for a product. Anyway, the ingredient is found to have very good absorption into the skin, very easy to apply, and did not irritate the skin. And something that's established usually, you know, there's a high level in these kind of things of irritation. And I have found myself, it's incredible. I cannot be without it. It just, you just got, once you use it, you got to have it. Communicate as well, but in a different language, obviously. And they let them know what's going on and what local changes need to be made in order to maintain the perfect skin. So this name comes to us from the Greek name, which means to stimulate. In healthy skin, we said there is a balance, but because of cutaneous aging, we lose that balance. And we lose lots of balances in the body as we age, and a lot of this is due to the overproduction of some cytokines and the underproduction of others. The secretion of the interleukin 2, 3, and the CSF factor is reduced in the aged cell, and the production of sometimes the inflammatory like interleukin 6 is significantly increased. So it's no wonder that our skin kind of breaks down as we age. So basically, when there's no inflammatory response, we maintain the level. But most of us, either aging or exposure to the sun or other toxic chemicals or whatever, are always disrupting this balance. And we found in our own work that this occurs majorly about 45 years of age. Now, there are scientists, and maybe he can tell us even earlier, I've had scientists tell me that this breakdown starts even in your 20s. And you start actually, some people call it going downhill, even in the 27 or 28 years of age. But we like to think of it maybe in the 40s, somewhere in there, and sooner or later most of us will get to the 40s, I think. So there is a rise. We can document it. Here's the difference between an 40-year-old and a 65-year-old in the measure of this inflammatory interleukin 6. Look how many times it goes up. So we can see the patterns of these, many of these in the skin. We want to have a balance. The key is balance. So as a result of deregulation, you may have seen people like this, where there is a massive increase because of this in free radicals, and the skin, suddenly you see them maybe 1 year, and the next year you go back and you see them and there's a massive change in the way they look. And there is increased degradation of the collagen. The structure of the skin is breaking down, and our skin is becoming less elastic. And the end result is we have thin, loose skin. Sometimes you can look at people and you can see, right, almost looking through their skin like it's translucent as they get older and older, because they're not out and they're not active many times, and this happens. So if you have this kind of condition, obviously you would probably want to do something about it, and this gives you an opportunity to look at it. So what we're looking at here is, from an anti-aging standpoint, maybe bringing back in balance things like interleukin-6. We don't want to do away with it totally, because it has purposes. When we have inflammation, we need it, but we want to bring back some of it. So we've put together a product that contains a lot of good stuff, some of which you already know we've used for a long time, and that is the super peptides. We already have been using them in our skincare, really advanced super peptides, for a long time. And now we are just stepping it up even more. So one of the things that we have in the product is these pentapeptides. These are incredible when compared to, you see a lot of vitamin C serums that claim a lot of things and rejuvenate your skin, and very expensive. You can pay $100, $200 a bottle for a little tiny bottle of vitamin C. And this is an alternative to those kinds of things. This is the special. Here we see some of the results of the study: skin irregularity, skin roughness decreasing, hydration levels going up 24%, getting more moisture back in the skin. Then we also add a super energizing mineral complex. Now this is like vitamin B12 we talked about for the body. This is kind of like vitamin B12 for the skin. These are minerals, a compound that is to energize, get in the cycle of the skin, in the Krebs cycle, and actually increase the energy level of synthesis of ATP. So you get more output of ATP in the process. And so we put these minerals in. These special minerals are put in at different stages of this cycle to increase the thing. And here's what happens. At about 2 hours, we get this incredible rise in, I guess that's the corner, maybe you can see it. We see this one going up very, very fast. We get a rise in pyruvate, which is showing that the skin is starting to get more energy. And then at about 6 hours, we begin to consume that pyruvate in the process, and we get a rise in ATP. So we start bringing up the skin factors. So first we make the energy, then we consume it, and then you get a rise in ATP, which is, you know what the mitochondria put out, the energy of the cell, like I call the spark of the cell. So this occurs over a period of about 24 hours, with a lot of the effect happening in the first 5 or 6 hours. These minerals are put in copper, zinc, and magnesium, and these are mineral cations, and then we bind these with anions like gluconates and aspartates to make them very, very absorbable in the skin. Just rubbing minerals on top of the skin, you're not going to absorb it. So we have to have a way to take them in and get into the cell and create some incredible energy. Also, we use vitamin B5 in there, and as a moisturizer, as a lubricating agent, and stabilizing the skin's metabolism and making your skin feel really soft and smooth, and reduce any itching and inflammation that some people have on the skin. We try to bring that level down. So we also put in a new amino acid complex that was developed in Japan, and this brings a lot of moisture, natural moisturizers to the skin, and gives extra organoleptic properties and feel properties to the skin as well. We know that skin has over 40% free amino acids. So what this product was developed is to try to duplicate the amino acid structure of the skin. And this is what we put in the product. And we see here again that there is a quick rise in the moisture binding and ability in the skin, during about the first 8 hours. So basically the most effect is going to occur within about 8 hours, and then it's going to drop down. Also, as humidity levels go down, if you're in a real dry, relative humidity area, obviously it's harder to maintain moisture in the skin. But you get this immediate, what we call bloom on the skin. Your skin just looks really fresh when you use the product. This is the amino acids that we use. It's a patented complex of aminos, so they're combined in a way to duplicate the incredible amino acid composition of the skin. So, we think we have one of the most incredible products on the market, using a lot of technology that we already have and incorporating in this new active growth factors into the product in a special base. So at this time, I want to